Hello?
Hello, Dad. It's Jackie.
Jackie, how's it going?
Terrific. You're looking forward to the concert tonight?
Yeah, I am indeed. Absolutely. Yeah, we're all ready. The quartet's pumping. You know, we're all pretty much ready for this. We've been working on this for some time now.
Oh, look, I think it's a very nice change from, the quietness of last year and the last couple of years.
What do I do? First of all, I am a university lecturer at the Sydney Conservatorium, University of Sydney, where I'm head of the composition department. So we have this voicing. We've got a pretty clear, closed, perfect fifth, major third, and here we've got an open C major chord. So we've got like this polytonality that's occurring at this point, which is an undergraduate and also postgraduate programs in composition. And so I've been teaching here for the university in various roles since about 2006, since I was very young, while I was still a master's student. Here, I think that I like this gesture, but how about we have a bit of a mid-ground so that you're not coming out of this, and then straight into this. Maybe. Or, all right, just a little color in between. Okay. I am also a pianist. 1 and 2, bum, bum. Dos, boom. I play classical music with Latin American music, so I fuse Latin American and classical music together. I also do what we call creative or free improvisation, which means that I'll get on stage and just make something up on the spot. That's like a small composition or a larger composition, depending on the context. And I'm also a composer. I write music for solo, chamber, and symphony orchestras, and choirs as well.
For men, open your chest. Open your chest. And for ladies, lift your diaphragm up. Tango makes me feel feminine, elegant, and powerful. How can you not if you're wearing high heels? You don't really think while you're dancing. It's a strange sensation. It's almost like you are immersed in a connection with the music and with your partner. And I love teaching, creating a choreography, and taking students to perform overseas. And I think we might be able to commence with that again, and that's something I enjoy doing.
Go to the left, pivot, go over her left. In tango, you cannot stop unless you really disappear. In tango, you're always here. It's my lifestyle. It is what I do, what we live for.
The beautiful thing about tango is that you don't need to retire. You can be 90 and you can still dance. So I don't plan to retire in tango.
To the left, to your right, that was just grass.
When did I realize that music was going to be my life? It's a good question. As a child, you have fantasies about what you'd like to do when you grow up, right? I wanted to be an architect, and I wanted to be an archaeologist, an ancient historian, etc., etc. But I think I always knew that the musical and artistic expression would be somewhere near the top. I remember that I would sit at the piano and fantasize that I was playing to a huge audience, or that I was conducting all my toys with my music stand, because I was also doing violin, so I had a music stand there. I'd put music there and put the record player on and be pretending that I was conducting. And then, of course, I'd take the bow and pretend that I was a famous conductor and a famous pianist and a famous composer.
Just wondering, did you create the event?
Yes, I have created the event. I'll share the link with you.
Okay, perfect. interest in music comes from my parents. My mother used to sing, so at home we always used to hear classical music and opera, and my parents were very into music, and we all played piano at home as children, yeah.
Tango music itself took me without any question that I loved the music. However, I was never ready to take it up as to teach it or to perform. I just loved dancing and loved the music.
The presenters, the media is very excited about having you guys up there. And I think we tried to have this concert last year, but it didn't.
That's right.
It didn't quite work.
When the pandemic began, or when signs of the pandemic began in early 2020, unfortunately many concerts were cancelled. Now, also during the pandemic, I had to compose, and the artistic side of what I do was not, the conditions were not ideal, they're not helpful for that. I just did not have the space, right? And also the fact that I couldn't go out to museums, see other concerts, speak to other people in the way that I normally would in order to have that creative stimulation, right? To have that inspiration to be able to continue to compose, right?
It changed a lot of things because you realize how valuable it is to be with people and to be able to have the possibility of being together. So I suppose everything now, for me, I value it more.
The hardest moment of the pandemic was not to be able to dance socially, not to be able to run classes.
Especially for Argentine tango, it was something that we thought, this is it, we won't be able to do much. You never knew if we were going to go ahead with it, because we organized 2 milongas which had to be canceled. One because of the pandemic and the other one because we got COVID. So it was kind of like exciting to do a milonga for the first time, really exciting.
When I'm improvising on stage, I don't really think I have much of a choice of what is going to happen, right? So I need to be able to really become in tune with whatever it is that's making those choices for me, and it's something very, very deep inside, which is why if I get really stressed and the ego kind of stands in the way of that more profound place, then it's very difficult to connect with that more artistic core. So yes, and which is why I think that humility is so important. It's not about showing the surface. Oh, look at me, I'm such a good musician. It's not about that at all. I think it's incredibly important to recognize that everybody has their own talents. Everybody brings something to the table. Some people happen to be in front of others, and perhaps get an applause at the end and so forth, right? But that's no reason for me to feel any sense of pride more than anybody else. Engage with their own activities.
To go back to milongas and run our classes, it was an amazing feeling. First of all, to see the friends, the people around, and to see how we embrace each other again. It is a beautiful feeling. While I'm at the milonga and dancing, there is nothing else going in my head, rather that moment that is connected with the music. The music is going to tell me something, and that will bring up and wake up some feelings in you while you're dancing.
Tango is so strong in my life that I cannot imagine not doing it.
So my name is Daniel Rojas. This is the wonderful Ensemble Apex String Quartet. And what we're going to do is play music that draws on Latin American music with classical music. And we're going to start with a party piece called Saltango that I composed some years ago. When I'm immersed in my playing on stage or in the practice room when I'm rehearsing, it feels like I'm expressing art, right? I'm able to tap into a part very, very deep where everything in my mind, everything in my body is switched on. Okay? And this is not always, you don't always feel this, right? I don't always feel this because it takes time to be able to be at peace with yourself, especially when when you get on stage and there's a huge publico full of people and you realize, oh, there's a few critics on that third row, they're writing an article for a magazine, oh, I better play right. And there's also, you see some music professionals who I really respect in the audience, and at those moments it's very, very easy to lose my cool and just get really anxious. And by nature, I'm quite an anxious person. Like, so when I get on stage, that just increases. But when I'm able to make peace with that on stage, then these beautiful feelings of artistry begin to express themselves, and that's when I can start being more expressive. I can start to move around more, enjoy the music. Sometimes I hum along with what I play, like I'll sing while I play the notes that I'm playing on a piano. It's almost like a deeper part of me is able to come out. In part, I think it's a child. There's a child that wants to come out and play. But on the other hand, it's also a mature adult that has the benefit of hindsight, the benefit of aesthetic thinking, of philosophical approaches to music, right? So it's not just the child coming out, but also merging out with the life experiences that I have had.
When you embrace and dance with a stranger, you only feel that moment with him or her. That moment is what counts at the time, and that's precious.
During this time that we were isolated, I thought about what it is to create art. I really thought a lot about the process of creation, the artistic engagement with what one's ideas are. And of course, there's so many things that one learns along the way, and one of them was that it's really important to immerse oneself in the design of the concept. not just the realization of a new piece of music, but to really understand what this new piece of music or art or whatever it is that you're creating is about. Once you understand that profound concept of why this piece should even make it into existence, then I think it's incumbent on myself, in this case as the composer, to bring this concept to life in its various forms, in the musical colors, in the speed of the rhythm, of the beats. As artists, we need to assume the full responsibility for that creative process, especially during those moments when we don't feel inspired. The true work is done in the continuous crafting of an idea, which really never ends, but at least we try.